Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machan La'ira Online Smicha. One of the mitzvahs that the Torah is very makpid on is the mitzvah of Tzar Balei Chayim, the Isser of Tzar Balei Chayim, not to cause any pain or suffering, not only to another human, but even to an animal. We find that the mitzvah of Shabbos, that the Torah says not only you have to rest, but L'man Yanuach Sharcha V'chamercha. It says when you feed your family, it says, "V'nasati esav b'stotcha livhem techa, v'achalta v'savaita." You should give food first to your animals, and then you sit down to eat. The isser of loisachsam shar b'dishoy, not to thresh with, or not to muzzle an animal while it's threshing. And when you're plowing, loishachresh v'shar v'chamer yachtov, and if you see an animal that's crouching because the packages are way too heavy, you have to help. We see from all these mitzvahs that the Torah has rachmanis not only on a human, but even on the animals too. So there is a halacha that's mentioned in the Hilchos Shchita, and yet we have to find out what is the reason why we don't see people do so. The question is, in Hilchos Shchita, it says like this, Tzam ka kula. This is Siman Lamavov, in Yeridea Siman Lamavov, Seif Yudalid. One of the simanim of a treifa bird or a treifa animal is if the lung shrunk. If the lung shrunk, then it's a problem. It's a problem with the lungs, which could render the bird or the animal not kosher. So in Siman Lamavov, Seif Yudalid, it says, Tzam kokula, if the lung shrunk completely. Imachmas b'nei adam shehefchidu. Was it because people scared the animal? And the Shulchan Aruch gives a cause. How could a person scare an animal? Kugoin sheshachtu acheres lefanav. If the animal, the bird and the animal saw another animal right in front of its eyes being shechted, then treifa. Then the animal that saw this got so frightened, so fear, it caused the lung to shrink. And if it causes the lungs to shrink that fast, for that reason, the animal, the bird, would be non-kosher. Treifa. If, however, bidei shamayim, if what caused the fear was a heavenly fear, what is a heavenly fear? Meaning a ram, a thunder, or saw a shooting star, something like that. Or he got frightened from other animals. He heard the roaring of a lion. Then it's kshera. But if it's a fear of a person, she got afraid. The example is she got afraid by seeing others being shechted. Then it renders the animal treif. So the question what all the Mefarshim ask is, l'chayra, all the Mefarshim, I shouldn't say all the Mefarshim, what the commentaries ask on this, l'chayra we find that on Kaparas, for example, forget about Kaparas, take a regular shlachter, it's a place where they shech chickens, they're shechting hundreds and thousands of chickens, and not everyone is in its own box. They're coming in a chain, one after another, or animals one after another in the hundreds, and they're not, each one is seeing what's going on in the front of them. So how is it they're not worried about the tsar, something, and it could even cause that the animal or the bird should become treif. So whether it's treif or not, that we have a solution. We're anyway checking the lungs. So it's not the problem of seeing it. It's the problem that if it sees it and it gets frightened and the lungs shrink, then it becomes treif. So we check the lungs. If the lungs are shrunk and completely shrunk, some kokula, it will talk to be a problem. But if you verify that it's not a problem. The Darkei Tshuva, the Pischei Tshuva, and Ois Tezvov over there, he brings from the Tshuvas Beis Ephraim. The Tshuvas Beis Ephraim Taka says, it's not loy nochain. It's not right what I see people doing, and they come to the shochet, and we could think about this on Kaparis. Everybody lines up with their chickens, and they go to the sheikh, and the sheikhtim are there lining, shechting chicken after chicken. So you see people going to the sheikhtim, they're holding many chickens in their hand, and they're giving it one by one, and one chicken sees the other one being shechted. Ubefrat be'erev yekapurim b'shchitas hakaparis. He thinks that's not good, A, because of Tsar Balachayim. Tsar Balachayim you can't avoid by checking it. It could be called Tsar Balachayim. And Gam, Yesh Chashash Simo Kareya. There's a chash that the lungs will shrink. Okay, but that you'll verify at the end. All right. So why is it that we're doing this? So the Pischei Tshuva concludes, and this might be the heter. The cholza, it could be, since we're doing it so fast, one after another, there's not one of them is seeing and it has time to adjust and create fear. It's happening so fast, there is a kula. Maybe that's not so bad. However, what I see that people call the shochet, and the shochet back then obviously, for a chasna, a bris, he comes and he sets up a place to shecht, and he only gets to do one or two, and the rest he puts back in the chicken coop or in the barn. Then the other ones have how to digest what they just saw. If being that their shchita is not right away, yesh chashasha beyoser, over there is a much greater chash, and that should not be done. And af b'di'eved, you definitely have to make sure to do badika, but that's definitely a bigger problem than doing it one after another.